Hi everyone, welcome to the Winsome Travels channel. If you're new here, this is a channel where I provide travel nuggets and mishaps that I face during my trips so that you can avoid them. In this video, I'll feature my favorite vacation so far, which is a cruise to the Bahamas with MSC. You may want to watch to the end of this video for a detailed cost breakdown of the trip. MSC Cruises is a global cruise company that operates a fleet of ships offering various types of cruising experiences. MSC offers a wide range of itineraries and destinations, including the Caribbean, Mediterranean, Northern Europe, and the Middle East. Passengers can choose from a variety of cabin options, including interior, ocean view, balcony, and suite accommodations. On-board amenities include dining options, entertainment, and activities for both adults and children. You can book the cruise on their website or other third-party sites such as Orbitz. You might want to check across different platforms for discount availability. My cruise was a 3-night cruise starting from Port Canaveral in Orlando, Florida to Nassau, Bahamas, then from Nassau to Ocean Cay. Then from Ocean Cay, we headed back to Port Canaveral. Port Canaveral is located about 45 miles east of Orlando, and you can get there from the airport using Uber or Lyft. If you're driving to the port, you might want to park at one of the parking lots. They have a really convenient parking lot. I'm not sure how much it is per day, but you might want to check that as an option. And you just conveniently park close by and walk to the check-in lobby. So it's a pretty convenient parking lot. As soon as you arrive, your luggage is tagged and it will be delivered to your room by the luggage team. So you don't really have to struggle, like checking in and carrying around your luggage. I thought that was really pretty helpful. The rest of the checking in is similar to that at the airport. So at the checking in, there's checking of required travel documents such as visas for those who need visas to visit the Bahamas, and checking of vaccine documents. I traveled in May 2022, so COVID vaccination IDs was a requirement for me. But if you're going to during a different time, I'm sure you might not have a lot of requirements except your visa. You need to have embarked 1 hour before departure. Our departure was like 6 p.m., so that meant we needed to embark by 5 p.m. However, we embarked at 3 p.m. so as to get the most out of the activities on board. I mean, we were paying for that day anyway, so we could as well check in early and, get the most out of this trip. MSC has a lot of food, drinks, and entertainment to cater to various groups or types of people. The ship we sailed on was MSC Divina. MSC Divina is a 330-meter long and 18 decks high ship. It houses about 1,800 cabins. It is huge and the cruise feels like a luxurious floating city. There are various dining, drinking, and entertainment options on board. For food, they have a buffet that's open to everyone on the cruise. There are also a ton of restaurants where you can make reservations for dinner. Although these restaurants require reservations, they're included as part of the cruise package. As for drinks, you have a choice of buying a drink package when booking your cruise. Alternatively, you can always pay for your drink as you consume them while on board. However, it's way cheaper to buy a drink package with your booking, as individual drinks can be pretty expensive. And who wants to be calculating how much they've spent on their cocktail when you have better adventures waiting for you at every corner of the ship? Well, that's not me. The list of the things to do are endless. You can go for karaoke or silent disco at one of the bars or lounges, gamble away at the casino, enjoy a massage at the spa, watch a show in the theater, work out at the gym, dance away in the nightclub, zip line, slide at the water park. Well, the list is endless and you get the idea. There's always something to do and you won't get bored. However, during our time, some of the things had an additional charge. For example, the spa, you had to pay an additional fee for it, so it wasn't included as part of the package. So as you were doing your booking, make sure you're keen on what your package covers so that you can, prioritize on things that are important to you. For example, if Wi-Fi is important to you, then you may want to get a Wi-Fi package. The ship sailed overnight and most of the morning and we arrived in Nassau at around noon the next day. At Nassau, you have the option of staying on the ship for the rest of the afternoon or getting off and exploring the Bahamas. I advise you to look up some of the things you would like to do in the Bahamas before your trip so that you can hit the ground running once the ship docks. We decided to explore Nassau by foot so as to understand the livelihood in the city. Bahamas is known for its islands, Cay beaches, and barrier reef. You may want to check out these places or some of the various water activities. We left Nassau in the evening at about 7 p.m., cruised overnight, and arrived at Ocean Cay at 7 a.m., where we spent the rest of the day. Arriving at 7 a.m., you will have a whole beach day at Ocean Cay. Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve, which is still in the Bahamas, is exclusive to MSC Cruises guests. With the docking right on the island, you can walk straight off the ship and onto 2 miles of white sand beaches where chairs, umbrellas, and cabanas await to help you sit back and relax beside the crystal clear blue waters. There are 6 beaches on the island. You can walk from beach to beach. However, there are carts that transport you from one place to another. You'll be happy to hear that there are food parlors and bars located close to each beach to ensure that you are well fed and watered and you do not have to go back to the ship when you get hungry or thirsty. Your only worry on this day is how much fun you can get out of the day. The cruise departs in the evening around 6 p.m. and arrives at Port Canaveral in the morning. You will be provided with more entertainment on your overnight cruise, so make sure you get the most out of it before the morning comes. I'll give you a minute to take a guess at how much the whole trip costs per person. Well, if you guessed less than $1,000, you're right. The trip was about $900 per person. Most of it was the price of the cruise, which was about $500. But this includes our drink package, this includes the Wi-Fi package, and it includes also food on board. So this was a pretty good deal. Then we have Uber or Lyft, or the taxi transportation from my home to the airport, then from the airport to Port Canaveral, and the way back. So that was about $100. Then we have the service tip, which is basically a tip that you give to, the people that have been taking care of you at the cruise. So this was like $60 for us. And so this is per person. And you can give more if you want. So really, I think even if you give more, your trip is still gonna be, cheap, affordable. Then we have flight as well as the checked-in luggage. So that $160 include our check-in luggage. If you take a flight that includes check-in luggage, then your price could be high or low depending on which airline you choose. For pictures, we spent about $50. So there are people going around in the cruise taking pictures. They're part of the cruise. And they will charge you if you decide to pick one of their pictures for you to go home with. Your picture expenses could be more or less depending on whether you go for a soft copy, a hard copy, a framed copy. But this is what we spent basically to have soft copies of the pictures. We spent about $30 on food. This is food that we had at the airport or, out of the cruise. This is food that we had in Nassau, in the airport during our flight and all that. So this doesn't include food in the cruise since food was already included in our package. So for a total of $885, I think this is a pretty cheap trip given what we got out of it. A cruise experience is a great way to relax and see many different destinations in one trip while you enjoy the various activities on board. If you're looking for a vacation where it's all about you and with less hassle, I advise you to try a cruise. I would like to hear your cruise experiences below. Let me know if you have any question about the cruise and I will gladly answer them. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more travel videos.